Hello and welcome. This is the news on NTAi International. I am Dennis Adigunloye. Let's begin with the headlines. Federal government unveils Nigeria's post-harvest systems as African Union holds summit in Senegal. Japanese Prime Minister resigns, says he will stay in office until the election. And the world is set to witness a blood moon, otherwise known as the lunar eclipse. Nigeria and dozens of other nations worldwide will witness a lunar eclipse this Sunday, 7th September. The eclipse is expected to last approximately 83 minutes, which will start around 8 p.m. Nigerian time. Scientists say the eclipse will be observable across most of Africa, with some regions able to view the entire event. Scientists confirm that a lunar eclipse is safe to view with the naked eye. Countries including Nigeria, Ghana, Cameroon, Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, Benin Republic, Togo, Niger, Chad, and Sao Tome and Principe will experience the eclipse, though the westernmost areas may miss parts of the early penumbral or partial phases due to the moon rising closer to or during totality. A total lunar eclipse occurs when the sun, earth, and moon are aligned in space, with earth in the middle, casting its shadow on the moon. The federal government has unveiled an ambitious Nigeria post-harvest systems transformation program to ensure a resilient, efficient and inclusive post-harvest handling and storage system. Minister of Agriculture and Food Security Abubakar Kyari said the initiative aligns with President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda to eradicate poverty, achieve food and nutrition security, and promote economic growth. The minister announced this at the Nigeria Legacy Program, organized by the Africa Food Systems Forum in partnership with the Alliance for a Green Revolution in Africa in Dakar, Senegal. He stated that the post-harvest program would focus on household storage technologies, community-level warehouses, cold rooms, and strategic national silos managed through public-private partnerships, among other initiatives. Kyari emphasized that the program would drive robust investments in the storage value chain, including processing, preservation, packaging, marketing, climate-smart metal silos, and cold rooms, among others. He added that the initiative would unlock private sector investments, strengthen market confidence, and expand storage infrastructure. The minister revealed that Nigeria loses an estimated 3.5 trillion naira annually due to post-harvest inefficiencies, which largely affect smallholder farmers. A criminal in the U.S. deported to South Sudan has been repatriated to his home country, Mexico. South Sudan's foreign ministry says the process was carried out in agreement with the Mexican embassy in neighboring Ethiopia. Kula Mohammed reports.
The Mexican man, identified as Munoz Gutierrez, was among a group of 8 who have been in government custody in the East African country since their deportation from the U.S. The repatriation was carried out in full accordance with relevant international laws, bilateral agreements, and established diplomatic protocols. Rights groups have argued that the Trump administration's increasing practice of deporting migrants to their countries violated international laws and the basic rights of migrants.
We are here today at the Juba International Airport to witness the departure or the repatriation of one of the 7 third country nationals who were deported from the United States on the 5th of July 2025.
I was when he come to South Sudan, right? But to all this time, I wasn't here. Really, they was wrong about what they talked about South Sudan. So South Sudan, they got a humble people. They treat me good.
The deportations have faced oppositions by courts in the U.S., with the Supreme Court in June allowing the government to restart swift removals of migrants to countries other than their homelands. And in Senegal, the government has replaced the justice and interior ministers in a cabinet shake-up, pledging a government of commitment and combat as the country tries to revive its economy. The reshuffle, announced on television, comes amid signs of tensions between the president and the prime minister. Both men have promised change since taking office last year, claiming mismanagement by the previous administration of President Macky Sall. Critics say they have not moved fast enough to restore confidence in the government and tackle massive government debt and poverty in the country. This will not be some village government, but a government of commitment and combat, working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, given the situation we have inherited, the Prime Minister said on state television. Senegal is struggling with an unemployment rate of 20%, while 36% of the population live in poverty, according to government figures. Kolom Hamad, NTAi News.
Egypt has sworn in 48 women as judges in the State Council, marking the first for the country's top administrative court. Musa Baba Ali reports that the swearing-in ceremony was attended by senior officials, legal scholars and activists.
It is a historic milestone in Egypt's judicial system, with 48 women uplifted to the membership of judges in State Council. At a groundbreaking ceremony, the appointees, one after the other, took the oath of allegiance under the oversight of Council President Osama Yusuf Chalabi. Observers say the development signifies a monumental step towards gender equality in traditionally male-dominated institutions. They say the appointment of the women reflects a broader push for inclusivity in Egypt's legal system, breaking barriers that have long restricted women's access to such prestigious roles. Taqa Ismail, one of the newly appointed judges, capturing the significance of the moment, says this is a great achievement as it is not previously possible. Until recently, the council had resisted appointing women to judicial positions, citing traditional norms and structural barriers. However, sustained advocacy from women's rights groups, coupled with government reforms, paved the way for this historical change. The move follows years of debate and incremental progress, including appointment of women to other judicial bodies in Egypt, such as the public prosecution and lower courts. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTAi News.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has resigned. He announced his resignation at a news conference. This is coming less than 1 year after he assumed office. Details with Kulu Mohammed.
Japanese Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba has announced he's stepping down following 2 major election losses. The move comes a day before Liberal Democratic Party LDP was expected to vote on whether to hold an internal leadership vote that could have forced him out. Ishiba resigned from his party and lost the majority in both houses of parliament. In his submission, he said he has decided to resign from the position of the president of the Liberal Democratic Party, referring to Japanese ruling party, which has governed almost uninterruptedly for decades. Members of the ruling party seek to hold a new leadership race following a disastrous upper house election. In other news, Thailand's tycoon takes office as prime minister after an endorsement from the king during a ceremony at Anutim's party headquarters in Bangkok. The construction magnate becomes the kingdom's 3rd leader in 2 years, but has taken power with coalition backing, conditional on his dissolving parliament within 4 months to hold fresh elections. Kolom Hamad, NTAi News.
Meanwhile, polling stations have opened for a few hours ahead of Norway's official general election day on Monday, with half of the voters having already cast their ballots in the 4 weeks of advanced voting. In the wealthy nation of 5.6 million people, the election campaign has largely focused on domestic issues like the cost of living, healthcare, education and taxes, including wealth tax. A polling station has been installed in a school gymnasium in Oslo ahead of the general election taking place Sunday and Monday. Party leaders and candidates have lined the polling stations since voting started. This, they said, is going to be the routine until voting closes on Monday. President Bola Tinubu celebrates Vice President Kashim Shettima and other distinguished Nigerians for their conferment as fellows of the Nigeria Economic Society. President Tinubu describes the recognition as a testament to their exemplary service, intellectual rigor, and unwavering commitment to Nigeria's socio-economic transformation, highlighting their pivotal roles in shaping the nation's economic landscape. President Tinubu praises Shettima's deep insight and relentless efforts in advancing policies that drive Nigeria's economic progress. The Vice President was particularly commended for his visionary leadership and dedication to the Renewed Hope agenda, which prioritizes inclusive growth, job creation, and sustainable development. President Tinubu praises Shettima's deep insight and relentless efforts in advancing policies that drive Nigeria's economic progress. The conferment underscores Shettima's significant influence in steering the administration's economic priorities, positioning him as a key figure in Nigeria's quest for sustainable development and prosperity. President Tinubu also celebrates Dr. Iyabo Masha, a renowned economist and director of the Intergovernmental Group of 24 on International Monetary Affairs and Development G24. Dr. Masha, who served on Nigeria's Presidential Economic Advisory Council from 2019 to 2022, was lauded for her impactful contributions to economic policy under former President Muhammadu Buhari. Now, the need for synergy, collaboration and communication between protocol officers, media men and the security personnel working with Government House Jalingo to enhance shared relationship and service delivery resonated at a two-day workshop in Jalingo, the Taraba state capital. Governor Kefas encouraged the participants to take advantage of the opportunity the training has provided to improve on their capacity. Godwin Inalegu reports that the Executive Director News, NTAi, Ayo Adewuyi, presented a paper on media relations and government communication on the occasion.
The objective of the workshop was to conscientize the participants on their rules to avoid embarrassment, especially during government programs. The governor, represented at the occasion by the secretary to the government of the state, Gibbon Timothy Kataps, describes the workshop as very important as it aims to promote diligence, commitment, and good attitude to work towards enhancing service delivery.
We all know that protocol is a serious business. Many people are always envious of protocol officers because when you have visitors, when you have occasions, when you have guests coming into the state, these are the ambassadors. We call them local ambassadors. So they are the face of the state or the organizations they represent. And therefore this workshop is a serious business.
In a paper presented on media relations and government communication, building strong partnership for effective publicity, the Executive Director News, NTAi Headquarters Abuja, Ayo Adewuyi, x-rayed the need for synergy, collaboration, understanding and communication between the security personnel, protocol officials and the media to effectively discharge their duties.
We need to build our relationship. Please, let our key word in this conference be that need for synergy, need for us to work together as a team so that the interest of our principal can be well protected and well publicized.
Chief of Staff to the Governor, J.G. Williams, encouraged the participants to always see themselves as a team working for the same goal and avoid friction while on the job to ensure successful government programs.
The work of a protocol officer, you must be humble and don't fear. You must surge on, you must move on until you get what you want. I think with this lecture and with the more we are going to have, I think the storm will be weathered.
Chairman, Best Protocols, Etiquette Consult Limited, Ambassador Umfawa Abam, and other speakers urged participants to always ensure shared relationship and communication at government functions towards effective service delivery.
What we are doing today is an in-house thing. It's for all of us so that we can interact better. Our strengths actually lie in delivering excellent standard protocol, etiquette, and security management solutions to international best practices in both public and the private entities.
Participants at the event expressed the hope that the knowledge they have acquired from the workshop will pave the way for them for attitudinal change. The two-day lecture was organized by the Taraba State Government in collaboration with Best Protocols, Etiquette Consult Limited, a leading corporate image branding in Jalingo, Godwin, Inalewu. NTAi News.
This is the news on NTAi International. We'll take a break. More reports shortly. Stay with us. Welcome back. The Nigeria Customs Service Area 1 Port Harcourt says it has raked in over 188 billion naira in revenue generated from January to August. This came to the fore as a new area controller, Salamatu Atuloku, takes over the leadership of the area from outgoing controller Mustafa Hashim. Kingsley Amajiri reports.
From initial 11 billion naira in monthly revenue generation, when the SY controller assumed office, Area 1 Command revenue rose to over 30 billion naira monthly. The figures tells the story of teamwork, sacrifice, enhanced port operations, commitment from staff and stakeholders, which the new area controller Salamatu Atuloku pledged to consolidate on. She has also promised to enhance trade facilitation.
I'll be sure that I maintain the standard and ensure that I work with the stakeholders, sensitization, and bring them to the office and dialogue and discuss together. And from there, we'll be able to achieve our revenue target, because the mandate of the CGC is for us to ensure that we collect our maximum revenue.
The former area controller, Mustafa Hashim, while highlighting his achievements, said total revenue generated from January to August 2025 stood at 188 billion naira, indicating revenue growth when compared to same period of 2024.
At the start of 2025, the command was given a revenue target of 216 billion with a monthly expectation of 18.77 billion. It may interest you to know that from January to August 2025, the command recorded a revenue collection of over 188.6 billion. This collection, when compared with the same period in 2024, which stood at 142.5 billion, shows a difference of over 46 billion, representing a revenue growth of about 32.3 billion.
Stakeholders look forward to a more business-friendly climate amidst calls for dredging of Port Harcourt ports to attract more vessel operations.
It's very simple. We don't have there's no difficulty in doing business here. We don't have the customs are doing their job very perfectly, including the agent.
In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTAi News.
In the meantime, the Nigeria Customs Service Federal Operations Unit, Zone A, has intercepted firearms, ammunition, and industrial drones in separate operations across the southwest. The seizures were made in Ogun and Ondo states as part of ongoing efforts to curb smuggling and enhance national security. Awal Yusuf Jibo reports.
Merchants of death have been dealt a huge blow as customs officers acting on credible intelligence intercepted a Nissan Almera vehicle suspected of transporting contraband through Ilara bush paths in Ogun State. Comptroller General of Customs, who was represented, says the driver and the passenger fled on citing officers, leaving behind the vehicle where a search uncovered 15 rifles, nearly 5,000 rounds of ammunition, along with second-hand clothing and cartons of spaghetti used as concealment.
I therefore call on all well-meaning Nigerians to report suspicious movement or activities within their communities. Your vigilance is critical to enable law enforcement agencies to carry their duties effectively.
In another operation along the Akure-Ore axis in Ondo State, a Volkswagen Sprinter bus was stopped during a routine patrol. Inside, officers found 2 industrial drones hidden in a wooden box without proper documentation. One suspect was arrested in connection with the seizure.
The possession of arms, ammunition, or drones of this nature requires valid approval, permits, and an end-user certificate from the Office of the National Security Advisor. Any deviation from these regulatory requirements will be treated as a deliberate attempt to undermine the national security and will be met with swift and decisive action by all relevant security agencies, including the NCS.
The Nigeria Customs says the arms, ammunition and drones have a combined duty-paid value of over 377 million naira. The seized weapons have been handed over to the National Center for the Control of Small Arms and Light Weapons for further investigation. In Lagos, Awal Yusuf Jibo, NTAi News.
Elsewhere, an international organized criminal group operating between Nigeria, the UK, Brazil, Australia and the United Arab Emirates has been smashed by operatives of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Lagos as the Anti-Narcotics Agency intercepted 1.1 billion naira codeine consignment in Rivers State. Salwa Khalil Ibrahim reports.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NTAi, has made significant seizures in 2 major operations. In Lagos, a large consignment of cocaine concealed in textile materials and local charms bound for Sydney, Australia, was intercepted at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Ikeja, Lagos.
1, 2, 3, 4,
3 leaders of the cartel were arrested after a 2-week intelligence-led operation. In another operation in Port Harcourt, a 40-feet container containing 160,200 bottles of codeine-based syrup with an estimated street value of over 1.1 billion naira was discovered at the West African Container Terminal Port Harcourt Port One. The container was disguised as a shipment of ceramic sanitary wares. Additionally, in Abuja, NDLEA operatives arrested a dispatch rider in Gwarimpa area of the FCT while conveying 3.1 kilograms of Colorado, a synthetic strain of cannabis. Across the country, NDLEA command continue their war against drug abuse through sensitization lectures and advocacy visits to worship centers, workplaces, palaces of traditional rulers, and communities. In Abuja, Salwa Khalil Ibrahim, NTAi News.
In other news, despite efforts to make primary education more accessible, research has shown that over 10.5 million Nigerian children remain out of school, with a significant percentage from the north. A non-governmental organization, Women Awake, has taken steps to sponsor 25 students from Abuja Municipal Area Council at primary, secondary and university education levels. Safia Nilma Uche reports that 13 AMAC women ward coordinators also received 200,000 and above to inject into their businesses.
Jubilant students and ward coordinators fill the hall, making it a memorable event that marveled them, including the traditional institution in Abuja Municipal Area Council, AMAC. The celebration marked hope, opportunity and promise for 24 primary school students from the 12 wards of AMAC who were granted a scholarship spanning primary, secondary and university education. Founder, Women Awake Initiative Princess Auno Anozodo stated that the aim is to break barriers and transform lives.
When they graduate, it's still my responsibility, the NGO responsibility, the Women Awake responsibility to make sure we place them in better jobs so that we know we have finished. I am happy that God gave me the wisdom, the knowledge, and what it takes to do what we are doing today.
I want to thank you for that Big Mommy have given us something to eat. I want to thank you for may God bless her in Jesus' name. And thank you for giving us the thing, Jesus. I'm grateful for Big Mommy for everything she has done for us. I'm thanking her so that I should win the scholarship.
The transparent selection process showcased the genuine intentions for the wards. Additionally, 13 women coordinators from AMAC wards received support for their businesses. Guests and coordinators expressed gratitude to the founder for her kindness.
It's not really easy. The journey started for just like 3 months ago, and she was able to put up this thing you are seeing here. So to the glory of God, and we thank God, and we thank God for her.
It's quite fascinating, inspiring, and also laudable. It's something that every right-thinking Nigeria must encourage.
I hereby decree and declare that the world will celebrate you. As you are celebrating these wonderful parents, celebrating these unique children, the whole world will celebrate you. This is just the beginning. In the name of God the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
As a non-profit organization, Women Awake Initiative intends to mentor the children through to university level and establish them in life. Sophia Norma Uchi, NTAi News.
And that concludes the news on NTAi International at this time. Many thanks for watching. I am Dennis Adigunloye.